Once upon a time, under a scorching hot sun in the afternoon, two friends who were starving travelers came to the edge of a village. Their tummies were grumbling, their throats were dry, and their feet were blistered and bruised.
I'm starving. I'm so tired from all this walking. Let's stop in the town and ask for help.
The people in this town were by no means rich at all, and all the food they had, they kept for themselves, even hiding it from friends and relatives.
Look, hungry strangers, we should hide our food.
And so the travelers visited the first house and knocked on the door.
Thanks to you, ma'am. Would you please come and share with us your food? We're starving. And a place where we can stay for the night. We'll tell you all our travel stories in return.
Sorry, I already gave all my spare food to the travelers that came here last week. Also, there's only one room in this house.
He was lying. The travelers decided to visit the next house.
Hi there, can we...
Go away! We made no money this year and all our food is gone.
They were also lying, and at every house it was the same. The people always found an excuse to be selfish and kept the food for themselves. The two travelers were so close to giving up and leaving town. However, one of the travelers had an idea.
These people have a lot to learn. We need to play a trick on them to teach them a lesson. Huh? But what trick and what lesson? I have an idea. Come here.
And so, in whispers and secret signs, they did. The plan was starting to unfold, and soon enough, the travelers were ready to put it into action. As soon as they were ready to put their plan into action, the first traveler spoke in a big, booming voice so that the nearby townspeople were sure to hear.
How terribly sad that the people in this town have no food. But never mind. We shall go to the town square and make a delicious and nutritious stone soup.
When they heard this, the townspeople were extremely curious. They'd never heard of stone soup and wondered how it was made and what it tasted like.
What? How do you make stone soup?
I'm glad you asked. Follow us and we'll show you. Bring some pot with you and something to cook on.
Arriving in the town square, one of the travelers made a fire. Another filled an empty pot with water, and a townsperson placed it over the fire to boil. With a grand and dramatic flourish so that everyone could see, he reached into his pocket, took out 3 smooth round stones, and plopped them into the pot of water.
Soon we shall feast.
As the rumors of the feast started to spread around town, an excited crowd began to gather in the square.
And now I will taste it. It's completely delicious!
With the news, the crowd gasped and cheered with excitement.
But some people say it might need a little salt and pepper. But other than that, it's practically perfect!
No sooner had she said this, the townspeople sent their children hurrying to their homes to fetch salt and pepper. After a while, the second traveler tasted the soup.
This is amazing! Although, a few more carrots would make it even more delicious.
Now that I think of it, perhaps I may have a carrot or two in the house.
And straight away, she ran home and back as she was carrying a whole sack full of sweet, crunchy carrots, which the travelers quickly sliced and added to the pot.
I suppose a perfect stone soup should have some onions and a little bit of cabbages too. But what's the point of dreaming about ingredients that we simply haven't got?
I've got some onions and cabbages too.
The travelers quickly shredded the ingredients, adding them into the pot.
This is absolutely delicious and scrumptious. Although, maybe a few more potatoes and some oils and margarine could improve the taste ever so slightly.
But apart from that, maybe we can add some herbs or some barley. Maybe we can add a drop or two of some milk or cream.
Yeah.
That would make it so delicious that even a king would be delighted to eat it.
After hearing these words, the crowd felt deeply impressed, and they ran off to fetch all the food that had earlier that afternoon. Soon enough, they returned with sacks and baskets full of delicious ingredients, which the travelers piled into the pot as quickly as they could. After another tasting session, the first traveler paused with a look of pure ecstasy on her face, before finally declaring,
This is the food for a king.
And all made from stones! Isn't that amazing?
Finally, the travelers announced that the soup was ready. Decorations were hung as people were getting ready to feast on this scrumptious meal. And so, the feast began, and everyone agreed that they'd never tasted anything so delicious in their lives.
And when the feast was over, the townspeople listened with rapt attention as the travelers told their tales from far and wide. And the townspeople told the travelers all about their lives in the town. There was singing and dancing all around till the evening came.
And when the evening came and when it was getting late, the travelers went home. And so they all lived happily ever after. Nobody knows for sure whether the townspeople ever realized that they'd been tricked that night. But, in a way, it doesn't really matter, because they certainly did learn a very important lesson, which is that when we each give a little, we can achieve a lot.